Hi everyone, Bandana here, I hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Nordhold. A game I recently played the demo of, and the developers very kindly gave me a key for the final release so I could sort of preview it and check it out the last week. Thank you very much to them because, frankly, I'm a little bit addicted. I've been trying to get into the top 10 on the leaderboard. I have not succeeded. Had I got the score I've got now, earlier in the week I would have been in the top 10. Unfortunately, since then everybody else has been playing it and I'm nowhere near. I got to 24 last night and that's it. On the game that I will upload with this video. Now, credit where credit is due, they've done a fantastic job with this game. I love tower defense games, and I haven't truly enjoyed a tower defense game since Defense Grid The Awakening. Its sequel was pretty good, but it wasn't as good as the original, and there's been various tower defense games since then, and they're all okay. But nothing's really grabbed me and made me want to play it again and again and again and compete in the leaderboard. Definitely not. Not since Defense Grid. This game does. I am genuinely very addicted to it. I've been playing it a lot the last week to try and get that score up. It's a game that has roguelike elements, and I always have mixed feelings about roguelike elements. You know, some games do it very well, some games do it very badly and punish you. I think this game has hit the nail on the head. It's not at all punishing. Everything unlocks with these honor points over time as you progress, and that's your meta progression, the ones that stay with you. And it's not hard to get and unlock these things, and some of them are definitely more worthwhile getting early than others, so you're not feeling like you're being punished to have to unlock these things. It's pretty quick, which allows you to then compete on the leaderboard with everybody else because you got all the unlocks. And then the unlocks that you do every game that you pay gold for within the game each time you play a new session, those are really pretty straightforward and easy to unlock as well, because you're still using the same honor points for most of them. And some stuff just unlocks as you play anyway. So, you know, some of the buildings and things like that, the permanent buildings or the buildings you have to build, which unlock as you progress through the waves. So, credit where credit is due, they have hit the nail on the head with the progression. Because, you know, that's put me off a few games recently, is how much they're going into this roguelite stuff, and it just doesn't work for some games. Nordhold developers, I think you've spot on. I'm very impressed. As someone who, as I say, doesn't always enjoy those types of games, you've won me over. You've done a really good job here. The game is sort of a mix of city building and economy management with the tower defense side as well. It's pretty straightforward on both sides. And then there's more intricacies when it comes to, you know, gold management and upgrade management and how early you get discounts on things to make everything cheaper, and how you upgrade the towers, because you can upgrade the towers in multitudes of ways, and you can have multitudes of different ways of having them target enemies. So the most health, the most armor, the ones with shields, the ones that heal themselves. The list goes on. It is very intricate if you want it to be, but you don't need to play it at that level. You can really enjoy the game without that. But if you want to get to the top of the leaderboard, then you start having to worry about this stuff and, you know, upgrading your towers to go through block chance and armor and everything else. But it's really well done. And I really can't fault them in many areas. One area I will fault them in is, if I go to discoveries and just show you here, so these are all your buildable buildings at the top, then you got your permanent ones. These all unlock over time. Normal perks you buy every game. Meta perks are there permanently. And then you get these banners, and banners you get randomly during the game. Now, some of them come after waves, some of them come when you open boxes or chests, this, that and the other. The issue is some of them are badly worded or don't explain exactly what they do, and sometimes things stack, but it doesn't explain that they stack, so you kind of have to experiment yourself. I think they could be worded better in some cases. So, and there's no like encyclopedia where it's got more detail about it. So some of it's a bit of trial and error, and I feel like some of them could just be improved in how they're written to make a little bit more sense. I'll give you a good example of that. That's probably one of the easier ones to understand, but it's one of the ones I've actually clicked on. Some of them aren't discovered here because I haven't clicked and selected them, even though they've appeared, because I've not understood what they were doing. So, is it this one? No. Where's it gone? Prism, this is it. So runestone towers that are inactive can beam to another specified runestone tower within their radius to transfer a percentage of their own damage. Okay. But then it says plus 70% bonus prism damage from other towers, if any. From other towers that are linking to that one, or just ones that are around and not linking, or that doesn't really make sense. And then the damage transfer is only plus 18%. But where's the 70% coming in then? That's where I'm getting, like, I don't feel that's explained very well. Maybe it's just me, but there's a few that are even less well explained than that. So that's a little bit frustrating at times, just because it put me off picking some that might be very good, because I don't really understand what they're doing. Relics, very cool upgrades. Again, you'll get them various points during the game. One of them you can pick at the start, usually once you've played a bit. Hero spells are upgradable as your hero levels up, and you get some really powerful spells to help you kill bosses or things that get past your towers. Hero attributes, various very nice bonuses. It's a random selection you get each time your hero levels up, so you might get good ones, you might get bad ones. Usually you get at least one really good one. And there's some that I will not have seen yet. So that's all really cool. The Oracle paths are kind of a bit hit and miss. I think they're just a little extra. These crop up again and last 5 waves, and they give a little bonus or a little negative and a bonus, or just a strange pathing decision. They're there. Some of them are more interesting than others. They're not too exciting. But, you know, the other stuff that's there is very, very interesting. Now, gameplay itself, obviously, you might be concerned that it's a bit repetitive because it's the same map, effectively. It's really not, because the map of the tower defense section randomly generates every time you play, and it can have good and bad outcomes every time you expand a bit. Sometimes they branch off, sometimes they don't, sometimes they have more resources or less resources on them, because as you play the game you'll want to build outposts out there that get you more resources on top of the villages you have at the actual village, because there comes a point where you just need an immense amount of resources to pay for stuff. So you will want to expand, and it can be quite difficult to get lots of resources later in the game. There are some means and ways to do that. For example, once you unlock this building here, which is I think it's a druid's hut or something like that. Anyhow, that has a percentage chance to increase the amount of resources you get every time you expand in the tower defense area. It'll make sense if you've watched me play the game / I'll put some bits in the background. But all of that is very well done, and it means that the game never feels too repetitive, because although the first few waves will be similar, once you get beyond that, things can go very differently, and you can either have a really good game or a really bad game based on how things expand out and how you manage it, because a lot of it comes down to how you handle the building of towers, the placement, and everything else. And there are definitely going to be meta ways to do this, and I don't know them, and that's why I'm not any higher. I'm just going as I go. But very, very impressed with the game. I've got to give, as I say, credit to the devs. They've done a really good job with the majority of this roguelike stuff, because I'm not always a big fan. There are various game modes, so normal is what you start on, then you will unlock casual to make things a bit easier, and then once you've completed normal, aka get past level or wave 30, then you get Ascension 1, and I assume there's Ascension 2 and 3, and everything gets harder and harder and harder. I've unlocked Ascension 1 now, I haven't tried it yet, but I will do. But yeah, very, very impressed. The team deserve a pat on the back. I do recommend you go check it out on Steam. It's well worth a look. Now, I'll end the review section here, and you can watch my playthrough that got me that reasonably high score. It is long, so, you know, as I say, the reason it says in the title, 10-minute review plus gameplay, is because you can come watch the review and then move on with your life if you want, or you can, you know, go check out the gameplay as well. But thank you very much, anyone who's come and watched up to this point. If you do check out the game, let me know down in the comments below. And let me know if you have any tips for what I'm doing wrong if you watch the gameplay bit. Because obviously I'm still not getting up to level 40 or wave 47. But thank you again for watching. I'll see you all soon. Okay, so this is what happens when you first start the game. So when you very first start, you won't get many choices at all because you haven't unlocked anything. But as you play through, the roguelike stuff kicks in, and then you'll get to choose a relic. You'll get to choose bonuses at the start. You'll get to choose your game mode. I currently have access to casual mode, where the enemies are a little bit more relaxed, and normal mode. And I assume there are other modes that I don't have access to because I haven't got to a high enough level yet. Or high enough wave set, I should say. You can choose one of these, so there's various different ones. So that one, towers deal a 10% damage bonus, 3 gold whenever you build a tower, grants 50% chance of workers producing additional resources every turn. Life points. If your life points on the village shield are below 50, you receive 2 energy. That's energy for casting spells. Lighthouse mission requires 0 workers. They're interesting, but I'm not too bothered. And plus 6 gold production at the start of each economy phase resets when gold is spent. That is potentially very beneficial to get right at the start, as is a 15% chance of workers getting more stuff. 10% damage bonus, although you can't demolish towers, is in one sense quite nice, but not necessarily great early on. Really, it's these economy ones. You can also upgrade the above relics to rare choices. That's the other option. You gain 100 wood, but lose a life point per wave. That's rough. Oh, you just gain 40 wood. First tower gets a common banner choice. I mean, I'm tempted to go with that for the gold production, because gold is very important, and I didn't realize how important it could be, and I'm now trying to work it into my early game economy, which is difficult, because it is quite strong if you get lots of gold. Just debating between these two. That's probably better right now, because although that'll be great long term, this is guaranteed gold at the start, so we're going to go with that one. First tower gets a common banner, or gain 40 wood. Let's do 40 wood, which will allow us to build some more stuff. So let's start game. So let me give you a quick rundown of what's going on here. This is our town or city or village. The game calls it a village. It looks bigger than a village to me. You got your main castle, which, if I click on it, all the buildings are the same in the sense of they have meta progression, which is your honor unlocks. These are your roguelike elements where you will basically unlock them permanently. Okay? And then over at this side is your upgrades for this playthrough. Some of which are very beneficial. So this one, for example, reduces the cost of all village buildings by 15%. So all of these other buildings suddenly become a lot cheaper. So you've got to watch out for stuff like that, because I missed this for a while. There's also economy budget. All building upgrades become cheaper. So all of these building upgrades, so it will affect its own upgrades, will become cheaper. And that applies to every other building you can have access to, which is obviously really good. Important one is houses, because this is where you get your workers. We can immediately afford 1 worker. The next one will cost 60, and we need to build a house for them. Scandinavian-style housing means that you get an additional slot per house you have already. But we can reduce the cost of that to basically 100 once we do all the other upgrades. So there's lots of different stuff you can do here, and different ways you can build up your economy. And there's going to be a meta way to do it, the best way. I don't know it. I just do as I see fit at the time. Hero Tower, very important for the heroes. Increases their spell power. You don't get a hero till level 5. Guild Hall gives you gold every turn. You get plus 5, then plus 10, then plus 15, then plus 20. It goes up by 5 every turn until it reaches 50, and then stays at 50. But it keeps building up gold. If you take the gold out, it resets back to 5. But early game, I will get 20 gold from that immediately, because it starts with 20. So I can just take the 20 out, and I have no effect. And then, you know, early game, any gold income is good to help you keep costs down. Tavern is for increasing workers' productivity, and then you build a brewery to give them beer, which improves it even more. Druid House restores the shield. The supply depot allows you to build outposts out here, which get you more resources. That's something we can do later. Workshop, exactly what it says in the tin. Tower building costs reduced by 10%. That's pretty good. Later in the game. Not going to make the biggest difference right now. We will need the mill, but what I'm going to do straight away is go for the construction upgrade. And now immediately you'll see everything has gone down in price. That's a huge help, right? Because we definitely need to build that, because we need the resources from that. We need more villagers. We've got 4 villages at the minute, but we'll spread them about slightly. Next one costs 60, so we'll get one next turn, but we also need to build a house. However, I'm going to build that, and I'm immediately going to claim my gold, because it doesn't matter. It's +5 anyway, so now I've got 35 gold to play with. And I'm going to spend that on the economy budget. Just one level of it for now, because it's going to help next turn. I've got 25 gold there, but what I want to use that for is I need 5 of it to build this. A runestone tower, which early game I find are just really strong. So I stick one of those down, and then next to it I like to stick an arc tower, which is electric and it jumps through. Let me run you through the towers anyway now I've built those. Outpost first. Outpost are a woodcutter, a stonemason, which collects stone obviously, a forge, which increases the surrounding tower's damage by 10%. I don't know if that stacks, I need to test. And then a general collector, which does wood, stone, and gold. So that's pretty nice. If we hit explore, I'm not going to spend anything else right now. There's nothing else I really want to spend gold on this turn. So I'm just going to hit explore. So the early waves are going to be easily dealt with by these. We're not worried. See that? Quick and easy. And now we've got some more resources coming in. So the first thing I'm going to do is build a house, hire a worker, and then I'm going to build the gold mine. I'm going to click on the gold mine, and you'll see down here we can get a +10 gold passively every turn if we do that upgrade. We're not going to do that right now. We need to get 23 gold so we can get that upgrade there. So I'm going to put our worker on there, which will mean that next turn we have enough. I'm not going to claim that at the moment. We're just going to leave it as is. We can claim it in a little bit for some more gold bonuses. Right. So we've got a little bit of income, and we're just going to hit explore again. And can speed this up to 4. Just watch them slaughter everything. There we go. Nice and quick. So we now have enough gold to do that. Next time we just need 30 for that final upgrade. And then if we go to here, you'll see this has gone down in price again. So it's going to be nice and cheap by the time we get there. Obviously we still have gold here coming in, so we can also claim that if we need to. But again, I'm going to hit explore, because right now these towers should be dealing with this no problem. We've got a banner choice. We have a couple of different choices here. So that improves the arc tower's jumps by +1 and damage by jump damage +1%. Each arc tower critical hit, not from jumps, slightly increases this tower's individual future crit chance. So crit chance increases by 0.18. So long term that might do a lot of damage. And then prism. So runestone towers that are built next to each other can, if they're not firing, bolster each other. So they give them some damage. I'm going to re-roll these because I'm not excited by any of them right now. Okay, here we go. So this is handy. So we can either do a percentage of the spell bonus damage is added to the runestone tower. That would be great later. We don't have any spell damage bonus right now. Opening Blitz. Arc tower deals increased damage against enemies with more than 70% health. That's going to be very handy right now. And long term. So we can do some upgrades here. So quick run through of these towers. You can choose what they're focusing. So I'm actually going to change it to focus the stuff nearest the village, and then the stuff with the most health, and I'm going to tell it to focus until death, so it does as much damage as possible, because we'll probably, well actually I won't do that yet, but if we get an upgrade that means that it does more damage the longer you focus an enemy, then we will. I'm going to increase his damage for the moment, but you can increase range, fire rate, crit chance, crit damage, accuracy, penetration is for armor pen, and our runestone towers ignore barriers. So different towers have different abilities, effectively. Some will ignore barrier damage, or ignore the barriers, so they're shields that are covering multiple enemies, emanating from one caster usually. And then penetration, obviously, is going through armor. And then accuracy is just accuracy. So we'll upgrade the damage for now. I always think damage is good early on. Now, what have we got? We've only got a little bit of income on the wood, but we need more gold. So what do we need to do that final upgrade? We need 30. We're getting 10 a turn. I've got 30 there, so I can claim that gold. I can do that upgrade. And next turn, I'll be able to do that. So that's gone down to 18 now. You can also get other bonuses. A hero, for example, might give us a 10% discount on building upgrades, and that will reduce that even further. So there's multiple ways to get these discounts. Let's explore again. This is nice. A nice turn here means we can put towers all the way down the middle and hit at both sides. Which has benefits and negatives, I guess. Next 5 waves, spell damage increased by 30%. Could be potentially handy. And that gives us more honor. I think we do that one. So the Oracle ones happen every so often. The choices are very mixed. Very, very mixed. Okay, we've got 18. So that's perfect. So we can do Source of Wealth. So we now get an additional 10 gold per turn. If we come over here, we can hire another worker because we now have 80. And we can tell that worker to go somewhere. Let's tell them to go on gold, which will give us 20. And then that means that these are 18, you see. So every turn, we'll be able to buy another early upgrade. Quarry is something else we'll want soon. But let's plod on here. We should be able to do Wave 5. Wave 5 will get a hero choice, so we'll get to choose a hero at the end of this. Heroes come with spells and passive abilities. So this guy brings 1 random common banner. Training ship costs minus 40%. That's potentially very nice, because trading ships bring gold. This guy brings an immediate 100 wood, and building upgrades cost 10% less. So that's the one I was talking about, so that would be good as well. And then this guy gets tower upgrades, cost minus 1 gold per tower level, and research waves is minus 1. So all of these are quite nice. He brings a random common banner, which is negligible. I'm more leaning towards this guy. For the building upgrade costs, that applies to everything, including trading ships, for example. His spells are so-so. I always like Lightning Strike because it hits one enemy very hard, obviously. And his bonuses aren't terrible, but I think I fancy that guy. Let's get that guy on the go. So, we've just got 100 wood. So I can actually take the person that's on there off, because right now I don't need to worry about that. I'm going to build this quarry, and I'm immediately going to do Rocksteady, which means that I'll get 20 stone every turn, which will pay for a lot of tower types. Next worker will cost 100, so we have to wait for that. We could build this potentially and get some gold coming in from trade ships, so let's do that. Trade ship, first one is 15, 25, that's all we can afford, but that means that we're now getting 12 gold per wave, so we're now on 32. And that's with one upgrade there, but obviously that's, you know, that's a nice bonus. Okay. Nothing else we can really spend right now. We could buy an arrow tower, but I'm not too bothered, so let's explore. I'm not expecting any major issues here, but if we need to, we can use a spell. Just keep an eye on it, and we might have to slow it down or pause it. Nah, we're looking good there. Okay, so we get another option here. So we can have another opening blitz upgrade. So the special damage will go from 64 to 112%. So that is a massive damage increase for the arc towers, hitting early. Obviously, it's not beneficial long term, but early on, it's really good. 10 10% spell bonus damage to the runestone towers is also very nice, because currently our spell damage is already increased by 45%. So we get a 4.5% damage increase. And the spell damage can get pretty high, so let's do that, because we will use plenty of rune towers. Okay. Can't afford the worker yet, so no point in buying another house yet. We do have enough now to buy that, so we get 20 every turn of wood, so happy days. And we can do the same there as well, so we'll get 20 of that every turn, and that'll give us 60. And actually reduce that now. We could put someone else on gold for the time being. 50 income there is pretty good. And then we'll stick down... An arc tower here is pretty good, because as you can see, it can reach both sides. We can even put it there and it can reach everything. Let's do that. And that's going to hit units as they first come through. So let's do that and then hit go. It's targeting the stuff with the most health at the moment. We could change that, potentially. Nicely done. Nothing too concerning there. Okay, every 5 turns, once you've unlocked it by playing a bit, you get access to the lighthouse, which allows you to send workers on missions, and they can get banners. Now, banners are great, but we need the workers for resources right now, so I'm just going to ignore that. Maybe that's the wrong thing, but I've always just ignored it. Someone will tell me in the comments, and please do if I'm doing everything horrendously wrong. Because I could well be. I could well be. These towers are really cool because they have such a massive range, even when they're on like a base height. So the additional heights are great, but they can sit on a base one, still have massive area of effect. And these are pretty cool as well, so they give weakness to everything. Let's stick one of these down, just because they hit pretty hard, and they're sort of AoE. Wait, what else we got going on? We've got a bit of gold going on at the moment. And we've got enough for this, but we don't have enough wood. We will next turn, so that's fine. So we can get another worker next turn. We do have enough to get the next gold upgrade, so let's do that. Could claim some gold as well, but I'm not too bothered about that at the moment. I think we're okay. The worrying one is the boss wave. We probably need a couple more towers down for the boss wave. So we need to just be aware of that. Might take... Now we've got more gold coming in. I think we'll take someone off gold and put them on stone, just so we have... Because stone towers are pretty strong. Let's hit explore. We should be okay at the moment, because these things are doing a lot of opening damage. As you can see, they're clearing up a bit here. Just got to keep an eye on these ones because they have more health. Okay, so the next thing you get every so often is a market, and you can get a new option of a relic. So we can either have that one that we saw at the start, I believe, which is a 15% chance for workers to produce 4 additional resources. We get loaded dice, so the banner that you have picked the most is always offered in the banner choice events. Interesting. So that's like a bit of a cheat. If you play with the same towers all the time, that would be very beneficial. And that would be the lighthouse mission requires 0 workers. I think long term that's going to be beneficial. So I'm going to do that. I could have bought more than one, but I just think I don't want to spend too much resources on more of them, because I would have had to pull the money out of the guild hall, which is currently a plus 30, so let's let the emergency fund keep going for now. So this building the workshop, obviously reduce tower building cost by 10%. We're kind of heading towards maybe I'll consider that now, though we're not too high. We don't have enough for that, so we can get another worker. Let's put the worker on that. And let's stick down a shadow tower. Here's probably a good spot, and then it's going to hit everything before it goes into these towers. I'd put it before this one, but I kind of want that to be hitting them first to some extent because of the amount of damage it can do in a first hit. Okay. Can't spend anything else yet? Right. Explore. So, as I say, the next turn will be the boss wave. So we might put down an arrow tower and stuff for that. We should be able to put down at least one other tower that costs stone. These shadow towers, although they give weakness, also do a fair amount of damage as well. And they fire 3 projectiles at a time. I'm just slowing things down because I notice there's a lot of blue coming. And I'm thinking I might have to cast a spell. I think we're okay. Now we're okay. But we need to make sure we have something to do some serious damage shortly to the boss or the next turn. So that increases the weakness applied by Shadow Tower from 10 to 13. That one gives the chance to do the lightning strike, and that has a chance to inflict a victim trait on the enemy, and they take an additional 10% damage from all sources, and it's stackable. That's quite nice, but the chance is only 3%. I suppose if it's firing 3 at a time, and it fires a lot, then that would potentially be beneficial. But I'm going to re-roll. And we get a very cool one there. So we got a legendary, so that was probably worth it. So, increases the damage of the Shadow Towers by 10%, and increases the projectiles to 4. So that's quite nice. So that means it's doing more damage effectively, and hitting more enemies with weakness. Oracle again, we can either have next 5 waves, the chance of encountering elite enemies increased by 30%, elite enemies drop traits, so that's quite nice. In the next 5 waves, the production of outposts will be increased by 50%. I don't have any of those yet, so let's do that one. We'll level that up, so let's get some damage on that. We now have 58 gold, so we can afford some more towers and stuff. I'm looking for a good place to put one of these. Here's probably a good place because it's covering a wide area and it's kind of on a bend. These are best placed on a bend to get, like, there would also be good. There potentially, because it's kind of on a bend and a bit of a wavy bit. I'm thinking here for now, though. The problem with these ones is they're quite short range, so you're not going to hit both sides with it, but put one here for now, and then I'm going to put this somewhere over here. Even, oh, there would be good actually. That's a nice position, and this is going to be a good place to catch a lot of enemies and do a lot of damage, so we'll put some stuff here as well eventually. So this is the boss wave. What upgrades do we want to do this turn? We can hire another worker, so that's helpful. Sticking them on wood, because I am hurting for wood a bit, and I will need to build a house soon. We can't afford that, because that costs 60. We could get the next Rocksteady upgrade, which would give us 40 per wave. We could do that with wood, couldn't we? Let's do that with wood. And that's going to speed up the wood production a bit. Because I do feel like that's hurting a smidge at the moment. Okay. Just looking here, so that will increase spell damage by 15% guaranteed. So let's do that, because that's also going to help our rune towers. Okay. Let's see if we get past the boss wave. As I say, my early game economy is all messed up now because I'm trying to get more gold. Maybe this is a mistake, because I never used to do that. So that will just attack the boss for the time being, because it's the highest health there. The question is, are we going to do enough damage to that boss by the time it comes around here? Now that's hitting it quite hard because it's obviously above 70, but he's gone down below now. Oh, I was going to cast a spell there, but we got away with it. Level up that for more damage. Let's see what we got now. Crates. So, choose your reward is always legendary from a boss. We can either have Volcano Mortar, causes burn on impact and ignites the field it hits, causing additional burn. So that's like burn, which is stackable and does damage over time. We can increase the damage of the Shadow Towers to 20% and have more projectiles. Or we can reduce the area of effect of the Volcano Mortar, and every fourth shot is much larger. I'm not really into that. I'm between these two. I'm leaning towards that so we can get the burn going on. And then we get a choice of the relics again, so we can either have crit damage for 75%. The next 5 elite enemies drop 2 chests, which is potentially very nice. Or grants another legendary banner. Let's do that one. So we either have fire rate of arrow towers increased. The arrows from the arrow tower deal more damage and have chance to fire an additional arrow. That's quite nice. Extra shot chance of 20%. That's pretty nice. This fires 3 arrows, each dealing reduced damage. So it does 50% the original damage per arrow, but it fires 3. So technically you're doing 150 damage if you had 100 to start with. But the fire rate is reduced. Both of these are tempting. Oh. I'm assuming they can fire 3 arrows at one enemy. It doesn't specify that you can't. That's 20% chance of doing double damage. That's a guarantee of doing 50% more damage effectively. Let's go with that, even if it is firing slightly slower, because we can just increase the fire rate of those towers. Okay. Okay, so where was I? We've got a little bit to spend. We can afford a tower or 2. Tempted to build the tavern. How are we doing up here? We still need more for that. How far are we off our next worker? 140, so we're quite a ways off that anyway. Let's build that, and that'll just help us get there faster. The tavern is good. Nothing I really want to buy there at the moment. The tax burden is tempting. We need 60 for most of these. We could have a lot more rope. And we could have 40 there, which would be nice. We got here upgrade wise. Yeah, tavern's productivity bonus 10% increase, 20% increase, 40% increase. So that's also well worth doing. Hang on. Let's do that. And that gives us a nice bonus overall everywhere. And then we can increase other stuff shortly. Yeah. There's always next turn. This is getting... Oh, we got loads of gold there, actually. Screw it. Let's have that gold. Let's upgrade that. Let's get that up to 60 so we get the full 30. And we still got 60 gold left. Let's do that then. 23 gold left. Fine. It's enough to help with some towers, potentially. I think we do another one of these. In the middle here, yeah. It gets a nice range bonus. And it can hit everything all the way around. Can't afford anything else this turn, so let us move on. The only problem we have at the minute is it's just one track all the way here. Sometimes it's nicer to have multiple tracks, and then your towers can hit enemies coming other ways. So you're not getting everything in one go. But at the minute we're just getting everything down one way. As you get further out, there are different bonuses. So these are a range bonus. These symbols. And then there's a damage bonus as well. And what's the other one? There's a damage bonus and something else. It escapes me, but we'll find out shortly. So these towers will hit pretty hard at the start because obviously they're above 70%. We've got this thing throwing out fireballs that burn the ground as well. You see it sets them on fire, so that's quite nice. We've got that just throwing out a few arrows here and there. Probably worth considering getting a weakening tower around here now as well. Just keeping an eye on what's happening there in case we need to drop some damage down, but I think we're okay. Yeah, looks good. Alright, so we're at the point we can afford that, but we don't have enough for the wood yet. We can do something to increase the wood a bit. So let's drop that, because we've got plenty of gold coming in at the minute. In fact, we could get endless wood, and that increases us to 60. Is that beneficial right now? Probably yes, because I feel like wood's still an area we're struggling. And let's just get both of those down there. We've got 21 left. I'm going to put down... Just to demonstrate, by the way, see how that would normally be a +1? You get +1 plus a 0.6 on top of it. So that's a nice range bonus of 0.6. I'm going to stick this down here. I think that's such a nice position for one of those. Equally at the same time, I think I'm going to be one of these. How much does that cost at the minute? 29, so it's more cost effective perhaps to stick these down. And it's got a pretty good range there as well. Stick one there. And then we could put... I said I'd consider putting one of these down here, and that's... Oh, that's kind of... there, maybe? Or there. That's got a nice range there. Let's do that. It might not help that, but it'll help everything after that. So kind of waiting on a bit of wood there, but economy's kind of stable right now. I'm just thinking I need to get the supply depot soon so I can start building these as well. But let's plod on for the time being. That's doubling back, which is nice because it means we can put some AoE towers in here that have got long range. Get some burning done there on these guys. And that will fire all 3 arrows at one enemy, so that's quite nice. Now they should get here. Most of them will still have over 70% health, so it'll still hit pretty hard. Yeah. Awesome. And we're weakening them as they get here, so this will get some good shots in. Some more damage around here would be good. Let's just speed things up a bit, because they're not going to get through here. Excellent. Oh, weakness increased to 14%. Split the beams. Let's do the weakness increase. Of the choices that I prefer, that one. We definitely need to build that and that. And we're almost at the level we can... Can I do that? That would get us 160 for the next worker. So that would be perfect. And then let's put a worker up there then, and one on gold. We've got spare workers here. There we go. Or maybe stone. 32, or 34 for that. So close, but so far. We've got some level ups to do. Let's do those. Damage for the minute. Damage, damage, damage. Level up there. Let's do speed on that, because its fire rate had been dropped by the upgrade we got. Curious what we can do in this area. That's pretty nice. As is that. Stick one of those there. I'm going to tell that to focus. I'm going to tell it to hit that first and then health. Because we're going to start getting shields soon. I want to make sure I'm hitting them. Having banners split across multiple is probably a bad idea, by the way. So just throwing that out there. Probably don't do what I've done there. I'm not exceptionally happy with that decision. I think it might be a mistake. This will be handy soon because it reduces the stone cost for towers. Let's do another wave. I'll get a bit of damage done as they come past this. I'm telling it to focus a single target just because obviously when it comes around here I still want this to be able to do plenty of damage. But I'm going to start to want to slow them down over here, I think. I think we're alright for the minute. Oh, I don't like that guy. Just going to help the towers out a bit there with the spell. None of these are amazing, but that's the highest damage. But this one adds slow, which is nice. He's dead, he's fine. We get a nice chest off that. Let's cast this anyway. Slow those down, do some damage. Starting to get shielded enemies now. That one, the weakness ones ignore armor, which is nice. Right, our upgrade for our hero. So we can upgrade either of these. What's the options here? That freezes. Okay, so we can have freeze instead of slow. And the upgrade to that is leaves a burn field or does more damage. Let's do freeze because then we can just stop things in a track. So we can either have a spell damage increase, we can have stone spell energy +1, outpost cost 5% less. Increase status effect by 15%. Shadow tower damage, rune tower crit chance, volcano fire rate, arrow crit chance. I'm thinking shadow tower damage, though even that's not really our highest damage thing. Increase the status effect by 15% is potentially good. None of these are great actually, the tower passives. Normally you get one that's like increased damage. I'm going to do the spell damage one because that'll help our runestone towers, I think, won't it? I have taken that upgrade this time. I'm cracking up one of the two. None of these are great, gotta be honest. Maybe increase the fire rate or the damage. I think I'm going to go with the damage. They still come in handy, so not bothered about that. Not really bothered about that. Kill? No, definitely not. It's just we don't want any of those. We can finally hire that worker as well. So that's the last worker done now, right? So with our wood, we could build that, and then if we click on it, we can do that, which reduces the cost of that, and then we can activate that, and now we get even more resources from those guys. Another 50% bonus. And if we do that, we get another 20%. So now we've got loads of income from these guys. Good. Do we spend... No, we probably want a few more towers. I want to build... Hang on. I'm going to do this and get... Let's get the wood. Let's build this. Which means we can now build these. There's got to be somewhere we can build one of these and get a load of stone somewhere. Nowhere really good, is there? Here's not too bad, 14. It's actually pretty poor compared to sometimes. What about wood then? Is there one with... Look, oh, there's a reasonable amount of wood. There's a 10. There's a 22 on the wood. So these outposts are great, but obviously it's finding the right positions. Don't... this is the thing. They're also good places for towers usually. Best thing there is wood. Maybe not a minute. Let's build some more towers. Let's do something here, because obviously this is doubled back on itself. Let's do this. So add some weakness in, and then lightning one on there would be good. That's a massive range. Let's do that. We're dishing out because they get bonus damage at the start, so that's quite good. Okay, am I probably getting too much wood there, so let's reduce that. Let's put one in there and one on gold, because we still need to build this, which will give a bonus to a particular tower of our choosing. Let's explore. Oh, I have an idle worker. Hang on, hang on. Put one back on wood. The reason for that is I just thought I can get the Scandinavian style home and get more workers. Oh, okay. And I guess I'll leave one on there because, in fact, let's do that, and then I'm still getting some income from that as well, and then I'll be able to afford the next workers, because the next workers will be expensive unless I pay to reduce it. Speed things up. Still looking okay at the minute. They're getting further through. We can upgrade some damage there and there. Some of these enemies now die and split into lots of fast-moving little enemies, so we need to be aware of that. This is where AoE stuff like the flames come in very handy. Yeah, lovely. That's wave dealt with. I'm going to ignore that again. Next choice, the paths. There'll be at least one that contains a branch. Excellent. So we want to do that because we want it to branch. That would be beneficial so we can split them up a bit. Damage upgrade there. Any really good points for this? I'm not seeing much gold. There's some gold down here, but not a lot. A bit of gold up here. We're very scarce on resources out here this time. Usually it's better. 4 if I put one there. Let's do that. That seems like a good position. Just for some more income. We can upgrade that and get more stone. So we've got the top level for most of these things now. We can reduce the cost of everything, potentially. Let's pay for a trading ship, and then let's do some more towers. Could just do this here. Yeah. I'm going to tell it to focus. Like so. Let's do it the same. And let's put a tornado down here somewhere. Tornadoes are pretty good. I won't do any upgrades for those though. Maybe I need to try and focus down a bit. Let's explore. Oh, there's our splits. Look, wow. Just a few. It's like everything's split. So we'll get a reasonable amount of damage on some of them as they come through here, but most of the damage will still be done in this section. Ah, okay. So we took some damage to our shield there, but we can regen that. So not great. We're only on level 15, but we struggled slightly there. Shadow Tower damage increase plus 50%. Yes. That's a nice increase. How much is the damage on that now then? 76. It's pretty good, considering it fires pretty fast. And they're not too expensive either. Stick that there. Stick one of those there. And again, I'm just going to focus down on the shield ones. Maybe these got... Focus down on the most armor first. Maybe that's the beneficial thing here since they do so much damage. Some damage on that. Okay, let's do this upgrade. So next worker would be that much. Let's do that and bring the price right down to 126. That gets us another worker. Let's put it on stone. At this point, it's worth spending the gold to get the workers cheaper, in my opinion. Pretty much spent up. Let's explore that way. There you go, shield coming in. So this should focus down that shield. I don't know if it did or not, to be honest. There it is. That one is definitely focusing down the shield carrier. Oh, you know what I need to do, actually, is turn off the focus until death, because that's meaning it's switching targets more than I want it to. I want it to just focus on those first. Keep an eye on this, because it might need the freeze bomb. I think we need more of the fire to be going on at the minute. Unlock Blessing of Choice at this facility. Let's build that. Let's have a look. So, Blessing of Choice. There we go. Towers boosted by the statue represent at least one or two of the banners in the pool of banner choices. Makes sense. Let's do that one, because they dish out a lot of damage. Level up, damage output, level up and damage output. I want to slow stuff down around here. Maybe that side there. That's probably the bigger area though. Let's do that. I want flames around here as well. There. Probably over here. It's because we don't have one. Yeah. Oh, that's got a decent amount of gold if I build one there. Let's do that. I think that's worth it. That's worth it. Okay, we can do some more gold upgrades. Let's do... Let's do the... Reduce the stone cost of towers at this point. We can improve a second tower. Let's do that. And let's upgrade the shadow tower again. Because I like the fact that they penetrate armor. And they are dishing out quite a bit of damage now, and they hit fairly fast, so... Every time this tower... Okay, so there's a chance that we get gold every time those towers that have been selected kill stuff, so that's worth it as well. Let's continue exploring this way until that track ends. Just because it splits off the enemies and they'll be coming slower then. So we've got plenty of flames going down here. We're slowing them down a bit. We're going to put more towers here and cause as much damage in this area as possible, I think. This thing's doing a great job as well. Reasonably pleased with the damage output on that at the moment. We're taking out these guys pretty effectively as well. So the shields aren't getting through, so by the time they get here, they've got no shield. And that elite's almost dead, so that's really good. Nice. I think we're fine here. The burning is doing a marvellous job on these little guys. Very pleased with the burning. Awesome. Let's take that. Let's get the wood. And the reason for that is I want to get some more gold out of this. Let's do that upgrade first, so we can start getting... Should we do damage or resources? That would be handy at the start, but not now. Output costs... I'm going to do the damage increase. And I'm going to do the druid. So this starts healing, because we're down to 16. That's upgraded. We could do this as well, so we get another bonus to all of our workers. Excellent. We can't quite afford that yet. It needs 140, but that's okay. We're going to come over here, and as I say, we're going to try and cause as much damage in this area as possible. Although some flames along here wouldn't go amiss, I suppose. We got that covering to there. So I want something in between there, I guess. Let's do that. Level that up with damage. 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 These here. Again, we're going to tell it to do focus down those guys to kill them. And thinking, yeah, one of those there just to help with the AoE damage at this stage. Grand. We are heading towards a boss wave, and I'm just thinking, do I have enough to stop the boss wave? And I don't know. Is the answer. Next wave, let's go. Oh, here we go, yeah. So that one's damage, and that one's... That might be fire rate. The blue one. I can't pick a tower to show you right now. So quite a bit of AoE as they come through here. We can do more AoE though. I'm just trying to melt down those shields. Then we'd actually be better off doing more AoE here, because obviously the shields protect everything else. I'm pretty satisfied we'll deal with that wave without an issue. Just speed that up to 4 times now. Particularly amazing options there. Let's re-roll. Insanity. Shadow Tower's damage 90%. Well, yeah. Shadow Towers is doing all the work for us right now. No. No. Research at university takes 1 wave less. The next research only takes 1 wave. That's really good. but also really bad that we got it at this stage. It's a bit early. I kind of want that. Screw it, I'm going to take it because it will overall be beneficial. So, next one will only take a turn as well. So, 5 crit chance per tower type in usage. So, 1 banner picked at least per tower type. Oh, I see. So, we would get an additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25% crit chance. That's pretty nice. Let's get that. Let's build that now, so we get reduced tower costs. Let's grab this. Stone, I think. Let's level that up for damage. 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 Yeah, I mean, these are hitting pretty hard now. I'm quite pleased with those. Just debating where to put them. Stick another one here. And then one of these here. I just want to cause as much damage as possible as they come through this area. And I really want to slow them down here as well. A few areas that might be beneficial for... I don't want to slow them down at this bit, to be honest. There. That's got a bit of extended range. Any good place for one of these? Plus 16 if it's there. I'm not loving my placement for these at the minute. It seems really poor. That's the best one I've seen so far. How much is my next ship? 75. I might as well just save up, I think. Anything else to spend gold on this turn? Let's do that and get ourselves some more increase in spell damage. I'll level ups over here. Nothing else to level up. Not a lot of cash. Let's explore that way. As I say, this just slows them down, the ones coming from that direction. These hit pretty hard when they go off as well, which is nice. See, some of those shields are making it through now. Nice. Oracle choice. The amount of resources increased by 20% when exploring a new area on the battlefield. That's quite nice. Your tower construction costs are reduced, but you don't get a wave reduction. Well, that was weird. Anyhow, sorry it went quiet for a second there. Let's do this one maybe? Is it worth it for the... probably for the next... Get the boss wave out of the way and we'll get a discount. What's the next upgrade? All towers plus 80% crit damage. Statue power. Tower price inflation. Doubles effect of upgrades for accuracy, penetration and barrier damage. Ooh, that's really nice. Let's do that one first. And then go down that one. I'm not sure my income's that good at the minute. Anyhow, I was going to show you that. So that one is... Oh, it's an increase in barrier damage. Ooh, so that's just 50 damage. And that's an increase in barrier damage. Sorry, the blue one. I thought it was fire rate. No, it's barrier damage. That's pretty cool. So that would be good for the arc towers. Not too fond of putting too many towers up there, though. Let's see what we can put here. Another one of these. Yes. Again, we're going to tell it to focus that, but do damage to everything. I'd like to put another slow thing down here. Ice them as they come round. I'm keen on doing this just to weaken them constantly. Seems good. There's potentially room for putting one of these down, but one of those in the middle would be good there, actually. That's pretty... We get a +6 on gold, so that's better than nothing. Let's do that. We can hire another worker. Let's get them on stone. How many more workers can I have? 2 more workers. I'm going to drop that and do that. No, let's do that and get some more coming in from there. Upgrades everywhere else. Fine. We don't have that much to spend, but we could do here. Tower upgrade, superior architecture, reduce the construction costs further. Yes, yes, yes. Every little helps. Let's explore that one again. The further we take that away, the better. Obviously, we've got a boss coming in, so I'm going to be ready with my freeze ray for this one. Because I might need to freeze the boss. Potentially freeze the boss in here, actually, couldn't I? Slow things down. If I can freeze the boss there, that would be pretty good. See the amount of damage we're doing here now. We just cleared everything up before it even reached, like, here. So that's really good. Let's make use of this and freeze him out once he gets to here. There we go. So 3 seconds of extra damage on him. With 4 beams going on him. That's pretty nice. Very nice. Okay. So first we get a choice. So either doubles the chance of legendary banners, boosts tower damage by 25% for all towers. Towers can no longer receive a level up for the next 4 waves. After that, they all increase, get a plus 40% rate of fire. Let's do the damage. Don't know if that's the right thing to do or not. Runic Fire Aura. Everything around the runestone towers increases their fire rate by 12%. Or we do bleeding. Runic Fire Aura. So now everything around them, and I think they probably affect each other as well. So this one isn't in... That one's out the range, right? So that has 7.84. And this one has 8.68. And is in the range of this tower. So that's pretty cool. Right, let's spend some resources. We've got potentially a chance to do more damage with one of these. Down here. That's covering a few towers in its range. So again, we'll do that. I feel like I want another one of these down somewhere. Probably there. I like the fact it does fire damage, but they fire quite slowly at the moment without any major upgrades. Tempted to put on these down again, because slowing enemies down in this area is very beneficial. Let's do that. Maybe I'll regret it later. And then weakness ones are just good as well. That's a good position for that because it's hitting all 3 of those areas. Anywhere good to put one of these? Not massively. $14 there. Not great, is it? Let's stick one there. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. We've got a bit of gold we could spend. Let's do that. And then we're guaranteed to get at least one of those. That would improve our gold income quite... 12 per turn. Kind of pays for itself, right? Let's do that. Okay, so past that, let's explore that way. Next wave. Because we're starting to get all blues. I think last wave we still had some greens. So that means we're dealing with more armor. So we maybe need to think about upgrading these with armor pen next. Just so we're doing more damage to them. We're still doing okay at the moment, though. See, all those ones there, they haven't even got to this stage yet, so we've bought ourselves a lot of time by extending that. We could even put a couple of towers there just to soften them up a bit. I think we can speed this up now. No one's getting through there yet. Lovely. Okay, so prisms, so they would help each other. That's tempting. I'm not sure how much effect it really has. I'm going to try it. I really don't know how much effect it has, because I'm not quite able to afford that yet. Get another hero level up this time. Transfer. So that... oh, you have to designate where you're going to transfer the damage to. Okay, that's interesting. So could I, like, deliberately build one here? Transfer its damage to that one. And just, like, supercharge it. When it's not firing. Transfer. Let's leave it on transfer then and just see what happens. Very curious how that works. We'll see. I'm going to put a lightning tower here. And it's going to do a lot of barrier damage. There's the best place, I think, because I'm catching them in two positions. Just to soften them up as they come through. That's the only reason I want to do that. That will transfer damage when it's not in use, I think. It's a little bit confusing how this works, but we'll see. And then this is being affected by a bunch of towers if I put it there. And this thing hits bosses quite hard, so let's do that. Focus on boss and elites. It also ignores barrier, so... bosses, elites, barriers, then everything else. Okay. Wood, bang. Oh, I can't afford the next one. Okay. I'm going to take that away now then, because I don't need it there. I'm going to put it on the mill for the time being. How's this going? One more turn. Okay. Make that even longer. I'm quite happy to keep doing that. Just buys us some time. And that will do a bit of damage as they come past. Hang on. So we can slow this down. I don't know if that's transferring damage or not. I assume it is when it's not firing. I assume. That hit hard with a crit. An elite there that's gone down. Very nice. Real kill zone here. It's doing well. These kill zones seem to work very well, but unfortunately they're not great against the bosses. Spell damage increase, tower cost, beer productivity. Let's do that one. Ooh, freeze bomb, eternal frost, freeze for 6 seconds. Deals 400 damage to enemies in a huge radius, inflicts slow, adds a strong icy death effect for 10 seconds to this area. I like the freeze. 6 seconds of freeze is good. And then this shadow again, I think. Yeah.
Research completed.
We got choices here. Let's take the stone for more towers. Research is completed. Very nice. So we could have increased fire rate for all towers. Let's just do it while we're there. I think it's worth doing. Okay. Please excuse me while I check my email. Okay, nothing exciting. Okay. So. Let's see. More damage here, yes. Yes, do the transfer thing. Is there anywhere else I need to spend? Oh, I need to spend wood here to get that. So that's now fully done. That is... Don't really need to spend gold there. That's locked. I can use that for outposts. Tower upgrades become cheaper. We can do that at some point. Doesn't need to be now. Maybe worth getting some upgrades here. Reduce the tower cost to gold by 10%. It's probably worth doing. Let's do this. And that just means that we're going to start getting more gold. Do the same with the quarry. The mill I'm not worried about because we're going to do that. We need 168, which we should get next turn. So then we've got the last worker we can get. Let's put you on stone. Stone is the big thing for us. Let's stick one of these down here. And another one down over here. Yeah, that's a good position. This is just a massive killing field at the minute. Let's grab another one of these there. And one of these. Just send the best AoE stuff for the minute. That would be better off there. Or even there, maybe. Although if I put it in the middle of all of these, it'll get a lovely bonus to its fire rate. And a little bit of a range bonus. Let's do that. Can't afford anything else really. Any other upgrades I want to do? For each different type of tower, with at least 5 towers built, you get... Oh. Loads more gold. Because I've got 5 of multiple towers. Yeah, definitely that. Definitely that. Okay. I like that we can still explore that way. We maybe need to start doing one the other one soon, though. Speed things up here. Just plow through this. As you can see, you just get completely lost in this game. I mean, we've been going for, what, over an hour now. Look at the amount of damage we're dishing out in this area, though. It's actually pretty impressive. When you cast a spell, gain 2 gold. Receive 10 gold for every relic you own, including this one. And the economy phase upgrade plus a random tower. Nah, none of them are worth it. Let's grab that. Let's take the gold. We should be able to buy our last one of those. We can now take those away from there. One on gold, one on stone, another one on gold, another one on stone. One on, yeah, keep one on wood for the minute. Wood efficiency on the towers, sounds good for some gold spending. Let's do that, so we can get that upgrade there. Every 10th kill by spells cast, the hero receives 2% additional. I'm not sure that's going to help us, really. That's ongoing. Every time there's a 10% chance you get some resources, or more resources appear when you explore new lands. Just thinking, what do I actually need? I mean, maybe a 10% damage bonus in this area would be good now. I mean, you're talking about doing it there, potentially? There would catch a few towers. That would catch a few towers as well. Is it worth it for 10% to take up that slot, though? That's the real question. I'm not sure it is. Anyhow, more damage in this area, I think. Again, we'll do that, we'll do that. We do transfer. Transfer is good. I'm going to put down a flame thing across here, just so anything that goes past gets hit. Just in case anything does get past. Though the intention is to try and do as much damage here as possible, I guess. Smack one of those down there, one of those down there. See, I'm just trying to dish out as much damage in this area as physically possible. But I am extremely aware that you are going to focus bosses and everything else. Just try and kill the bosses as they come in. That's still got a decent range there. Let's do that one there because it's got a good range on it. How many tornado towers do I have at the minute? 1, 2... It's probably something that tells me on stats. Nine, 13, 11, 2, 5, 2. Oh, I might only have 2 tornado towers. I've got 5 of those. 4 frost. So I'd need to put a few tornado towers down. Let's do that. It's going to get, like, fire off a lot of tornadoes because it's covered by so many. Fire rate seems pretty high. Yeah. Certainly better than one that's not covered. Let's stick down some arrow towers as well, because they have a decent range, and we can really improve their fire rate by just sticking them around these other towers. And I can get away with putting quite a few down. There's 5, and then we get some more bonus to our gold every turn. We can consider doing upgrades now as well, you see. Plus we've got so much gold coming in. Just looking for anything else I can spend gold on. I think we're pretty much... Is that worth it for one person? Probably not. We're not using a lot of wood anymore. Let's increase our amount of spells we can have. I think that's worth it. Reduce the price of relics offered, yes. The next common relic you buy in the market is free. Why not? Loyalty bonus. Every purchase in the market increases the chance of higher rarities. I think that's worth doing. We don't need anything there at the minute. Okay, so... really, it's like upgrades next. Let's explore that once more. It just keeps them busy elsewhere. Melt everything here. Boss wave is coming up. I've only got to wave 28 before, so we'll have to see if we get that far. I'm sort of worried about the amount of armor that's coming through, but we are doing a lot of damage in this area. Volcano begins to uncontrollably throw magma balls at random enemies. It shoots faster. Reroll. Weakness minus block minus... Oh. That sounds good. Although weakness 17% also sounds good. Ooh. Let's do that one. Workers faster, enemies move faster. That one. Not really too concerned. Right. I'm starting to upgrade these with penetration, I think. You can have damage. You can have... Everything can have damage except the... You've got to level up. The current damage. They're doing a lot of damage. I like that. I really like that. I'm happy that I don't need any more wood from that anymore. Plus, I'm not spending it on much. That's still going to take time. Smelting. That's a new unlock, so forgers can now demolish and smelt surrounding resources, increasing the forge's damage bonus by 2%. Okay. That's interesting. Okay. So if I build a forge, you can now get even higher damage if you destroy the surrounding resources. Which would here be a tree and a rock, unfortunately. Though here it would be a few trees. So if I put that down and then do melt resources there. Oh. Oh wait, I haven't bought it, that's why. How much bonus will we get? 11% damage additional. 21% damage. Yes, please. Okay. I'm into that. Okay, so it's boss wave. This is going to be somewhat... I feel like it's going to be difficult. What I'm going to do is... go to the workshop and we do that. Then we should get the option to upgrade a bunch of these. Yeah, not loads. I'm just going to go for penetration on a bunch of them now. And these things are great. I'm really pleased with the amount of damage that these things are doing. In fact, I'm surprised by the amount of damage they're doing, to be honest. there. Again, we're doing that. Is it worth putting another one of these down for the boss fight? The bosses. Yes, let's do that. Again, you're going to focus those, and then that. Should kill the boss first. We can also do, potentially, some other upgrades. So, like, this only costs 10, right? So, only costs 5. 5. 5. I just want some armor pen. It's worth spending on the armor pen upgrade, I think. I managed to catch all of these. Oh, that one I didn't catch. There we go. Okay, let's do the boss fight. I'm going to extend one of these just for fun, because I've done that quite a lot. The boss is up there as well, so that's really good. Getting absolutely decimated as they come in there now. The boss isn't even here yet. That's awesome. We got lucky with that boss spawn. So that boss now has to go through everything on his own. And when he gets around... If he gets around here, I'm going to freeze him in this position. But I dare say he's going to be in trouble. Yeah. Melted. My death zone is working wonders. Let's see what we get. So, Staff of Frost. Damage to slowed enemies is multiplicative. Blah, blah, blah. That's a mouthful. Multiplicative. I can't speak suddenly. Anyhow, it's increased to 125%. Slowed by bleed or frost tower spells. So that's quite nice. And it's the one I'm going to take, because that'll come in very handy for us. And now we get another upgrade. So Rapid Archer does more damage. Magical Charge to the Runestone goes to 24%. So that would be quite good. I think we're going to do that. That's a huge increase, isn't it? 24% of that is pretty high, yeah. So that's even more damage for those things. That's great. Okay, so we're doing pretty good at the moment. I need to do a lot of level ups, as you can see here. So let's do those. So damage upgrade, damage upgrade. If anything gets this far through, then we're going to be relying on a lot of damage. Let's just sort out these ones first. So damage upgrade. Unit damage. Okay. These things already have ignore armor, so damage is good for those. And definitely damage. We're getting a lot of damage out of these, actually. Damage. Damage. And damage. That's the main thing for them. This, I guess, damage or speed. Speed, it's still quite slow. Damage. Damage, that's getting nice and high, the damage on some of these towers are going really high on the damage front. Arrow tower. I think we can do damage on those as well. Speed increase on that. The Raven Tower, definitely damage. Frost Tower, speed. It's getting some bonuses elsewhere. Damage on the Tornado Tower, probably. Damage on that. Obviously, the arrow towers aren't too bad because they're firing multiple arrows at that level. So they're doing a decent amount of damage. Tornado damage as well. Is that everything upgraded? Yes. We've still got all the resources to spend this turn. We could do advanced towers, which will let us potentially upgrade a few more. Let's just check the prices. So if there's any that are 5, then it's worth doing it before we do this, I think. Arc tower damage. I'm just looking for ones that cost 5. So you are a 5 upgrade for damage, definitely. Lots of 15, some 10s. I'm just looking for stuff that's less than 10, so 5 basically. There's a 5, which is a shadow tower, definitely damage. And there's a 5 there, which is another shadow tower for damage. Excellent. And then, if I do this upgrade for 33 gold, I'll have a bunch of other ones that are ready to upgrade, potentially. Wait. That's weird. It didn't kick... Did not kick in? Tower upgrades become 10 cheaper. I would have thought it would have made that one... What was it? One that's gone down to 5 there, I guess. Damage. I could have sworn there was some that were 10 that should have gone down more, but... Oh, it's only 5. It's 5 each time, sorry. It's gone 5 and then 10. But it's not 10 more, it's just 5. Okay. Yeah. It is... Yeah, okay. My bad. Runestone Tower... Damage or pen? Damage at that level. One's around here, more pen probably. It's that one. Volcano mortar, definitely damage. That is a rune stone, so I think it's more pen on those. Runestone pen. Runestone pen. Does get confusing when those are there as well. We can still put down some more towers, so... Is there anything else we need to buy first? No. We have 500 gold waiting there for us. Research is ongoing. Nothing really to change there. Sort of... We've upgraded nearly everything. I mean, we've not got anyone working on wood, so there's no point in upgrading that. We can reduce the output costs, I guess, for wood. Why not? I want to put down more shadow ones because... In fact, can I put one of these down here? Yes, I can. Which is going to buff everything around it. And again, it's going to prioritize that. We haven't got focus. No, we haven't. That's fine then. Yep, put one here. And again, we're catching both sides with it. But the damage output on this is pretty good at this stage. But I still want to cause lots of mayhem here. Another one of those is probably good. And then we could have another runestone tower in here somewhere. And just transfer its damage, potentially. Here? The problem is, if I build it here, it's not actually catching anything, is it? There it's catching a few. But it's not really catching enemies. That would be a decent position. Again, we're going to prioritize that. We're going to do that upgrade. We're going to do transfer on. I don't see why we wouldn't transfer to others if we can, so... Every little helps, as they say. Okay, we're now out of resources except for gold. We're going to banner choice at the end of this one. I'm pretty sure we'll be okay, so I'm just going to hit go. I have a feeling we're fine. My economy's gone pretty well this time. Yeah, we are wrecking stuff at this stage. This is probably going to be my best run so far. Just need to make sure everything's dying here. Getting the armor pen upgrades has been really important.
Research completed.
Okay. We just unlocked specialized building. What's specialized building? What's that from? I didn't even recognize that. I saw it. I don't know what it was for. I've still got a locked thing here, incidentally. I don't know what that is. Increases the rate by 10 gold. Does that include the maximum? If you put a person in there. We haven't got anything else there. Do we do that? The next legendary banner pick is taken 2 times. Or we do statue power bonus. And then tower price inflation. Doubles the effect of upgrades. I mean, I'm tempted to go down here, this one. Rather than just get the top end there. Allows you to reserve a relic to spend or buy later. Increases the chance of finding legendary relics. I mean, we might as well do that. Sponsoring. Okay, there was definitely something else, but I don't know what it was that I just unlocked. But never mind. Let's do these upgrades. So, I just did that twice without really meaning to, because I double-clicked, but never mind. It's not the end of the world. Damage upgrade on that. Damage upgrade on that. Pen upgrade there. Damage upgrade that. Pen upgrade. Pen upgrade. Speed upgrade. Damage. Pen. Damage. Pen. 2 on that tower because I only had 1. Okay. Well, that's reached its end, so that's the little building you get at the end. Okay. So we still got room for more towers here. And we will build... I don't want to catch them out here, don't we, now? Are we doing... That would catch that tower, but not much else. Won't catch much either there. Potential to do... Maybe if we build a little bit of a one here. A couple of sets of pen on that straight away. What if we freeze enemies here? And we do another pen upgrade there. And we do transfer if necessary. And these need to, again, prioritize killing the guys with shields. That makes sense. It's looking pretty good at the minute. Stick a wooden tower down. Oh, narrow tower, wooden tower. Same difference, I guess. Where should we stick that? Maybe just over here? That's a good position. The nice thing about the arrow towers is they have a nice range without too much messing about. Okay, that's looking pretty good. We've got a banner choice on this one. Let's explore this. Ah, it's immediately at the end now. So we can't make this track any longer by the looks of it. I'm leaving it on high speed because I'm pretty confident we're going to do really well this time. I just got to keep an eye on it. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Ooh. It reduces the area of effect, but then it's got a big area. I don't like that one, to be honest. Frost Magician. Each Frost Tower's Nova has a chance to grant 1 energy for the current wave. That one, straight away. Increase the power of that. Wow, we got loads of level ups to do. Okay. Damage. Damage if they get through that far. Damage. Runestone Tower Pen. Damage on that, actually, because the speed is good with all of those runestone towers around it. Damage. Damage. Oh, wow. You now have a really high speed, so that, much better than it was. Pen. Damage. Pen for the runestone tower. Damage. Damage. Arrow towers are hitting hard again now. This is... yeah, the speed is much better on these now they're in this area. Damage. 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 Wow, I can't believe I've got this many level ups. Damage. 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 Okay. Penetration. Damage. 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 I could just predetermine this, incidentally. But, damage for the arc tower. Damage. Damage. Now we're looking on stats right now. We've got 18 of those, and their current damage is the highest. So the runestone towers are doing better now than they were before. So that's good. However, these are keeping up there. So that's pretty impressive. Fine, we need to put some more towers down. I've got loads of spare gold. I might take people off gold and put them on stone, because I use a lot of stone every turn. And I'm still getting 255 gold every turn, so... upgrades, obviously, are important, but... so is everything else, right? Put that there. Ooh. And we're going to do that, and then do the 10 upgrades. Just make sure the transfer is on all of these. I'm assuming they'll just help each other. Do I have to activate the transfer? I'm sure I don't. I'm sure it just does it itself. Maybe this is just showing... hang on. Oh, it's not even been doing the transfer. Crap. Okay. I have to choose it by specifically designating to which one is going to transfer its damage to. Oh, man. Okay. So will it always transfer then? Surely it's only when it's not firing it transfers. I'm going to have to test that. What's the damage output on that then? Just 117. I'm not sure that's really beneficial if those aren't going to fire at all. We'll test it this turn. I'm not feeling very good about that one. I mean, maybe if like this one wasn't in range to hit stuff, but yeah, not sure about that. Can definitely put one here though. Once again, that. Spend a bit of gold on that, and then put a lightning tower down. Why not? Just there for some added damage. Is there somewhere to get more Stone? Oh, there's quite a bit of stone up there. Stone and gold here. Not loads, though. Yeah, I feel like sometimes you get a map build up where you get loads of resources, but this one's been pretty poor. Just grab that there. Got a lot of gold. I'm gonna explore. Oh, immediately on that, look. Obviously, I've used my expansion up there. This could be the time they get through, because there's a lot. I forgot to watch if... oh no, they're all still attacking. So yeah, they will still attack if they can. Okay, that's fine. Oh, this is free, so we either get... elite enemy HP reduced to 80%. I think that's pretty good. I could buy something else, but I'm not going to. I've got loads more stone to spend this time. Let's quickly do our level ups. So, damage, damage, damage. Stone tower, pen. If they do get around there, they'll need it. Damage. I'm going to do more pen upgrades where... oh. Where suitable. I think I just upgraded something for cash, but never mind, doesn't matter. I've got plenty of cash to play with still. Okay. All the upgrades. I've got one there, look. Let's just politely set up here doing some damage. You know what we could... it seems a waste to just destroy that one row when it takes them so long to get to us anyway. So let's stick with what we're doing here. So we'll have one of these there. Same again. 2 sets of pen on that. Let's put down a few of these, I think. So they're not too expensive still. And they do quite a lot of damage. Let's slow down the enemies a bit again, shall we? Because we've got that there. We could do some here as well. And that's a nice big bonus for that one, isn't it? Let's do that. Buff its damage a bit. Are we worried about stuff coming through here, really? Now let's have another 20 wood income. And then let's do that, and that'll allow us to do a load of upgrades, because I'm just doing them. Damage. Damage. On the off chance stuff gets through here, we'll do pen. Damage. 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 The Raven Towers definitely get damage. You get some more pen. Get some more pen. Get some more pen. And all of these bonuses are going to get doubled when we get down to that one. So we've got a bit of a ways to go, but... well, you're not very fast because you don't have any things around you, but I am going to increase your damage. Damage. Pen. Damage. Damage. Pen. Pen. And damage, you're pretty fast. Definitely damage. And damage because when I... next turn I will put some more stuff around you. Okay. I literally have way too much gold and not enough stone. I could buy some stone, I suppose. Okay, let's go. Oracle choice. Explore there. Banner choice and boss wave at 30. So I've never completed this before. This is the furthest I've ever got. So quite fitting that it did it for the video. I'm quite pleased about that. And I think we're going to do this. Oh, they almost got through though. This is really helping. Nice. Spell damage increased by 30% for the next 5 waves, which also has a knock-on effect. The next 5 waves, the research duration of the active and future research will be reduced by 1. Oh, that's very nice. Let's do that. Loads more tower level ups. Wow, every time. This is what takes a lot of time to sort through. We're definitely sticking that there. That. Level up that. Damage. How's our stats doing? Still that doing more damage. Damage. Shadow tower damage. Shadow tower damage. Shadow tower damage. The fire mortar tower is still doing pretty good, and the tornado's doing pretty good. Nothing else doing that much, but I guess I have probably focused more on those. So you can set this to auto level a particular thing. But sometimes I just want to focus on some stuff. I guess these could also all be on auto levels now, to be honest, to speed things up. Now that we've got ignores armor on that, we don't really need to keep doing that, for example. That can probably just auto level damage. The Raven Tower can auto level damage. These towers can auto level damage, can't they? Unless I force it to do something else. Maybe that's the way to do this now. These ones I'm just going to do damage on. Okay. Tornado tower somewhere? Maybe not there. How about... Could just put it there, actually. Because it has a decent range anyway. Okay, so that's the towers done. I still want more... Stick one of those there, just so we have more stone incoming. I could do more upgrades here as well. I'm going to get these all to ignores armor, because I can afford it. So... What does accuracy do? No. Okay, so if something can block. Maybe that's the next thing we need to upgrade. What if we take one of our newest towers, this one, we do that, and then we copy upgrades. And then if we click on this, or one that I haven't upgraded, there, paste upgrades. Use for all... Oh, hang on. Use for all towers of this type. Did it do that? No. No idea then. Copy. Use for all towers of this type. But it hasn't. So I don't know how that works. But never mind. Doesn't really matter. I think we got most of them now, so that's pretty good. Happy days. Okay, boss wave. I'm not feeling confident about this. It's the furthest I've ever got. I've got lots of gold left though, so we could just go around and do some damage upgrades and stuff. I'm worried about block chance, so I'm just gonna maybe do a couple of upgrades to block chance. Well, penetration for that one, block chance on there. Not sure the benefit to that, to be honest, but I suppose anything that makes it stronger is good. Alright, I'm getting lower on gold now, so I'm just going to click to go. This is the last one. Let's go. How do we continue after this, then? Because I can't hit continue. Oh, dear. That is a big boss. We're still stable here, but I'm worried about the boss. Wait, are they just never stopping now? That guy has his own shield. I'm going to slow this down and zoom in. Well, his shield's gone, but he has a lot of health. Jeez. I'm going to freeze him there so we can do as much damage as possible to him. And then I'll freeze him around here as well. Once he gets into this bit. His minions are dead. He's nasty. Get ready to freeze him. Boom. Oh, melted. Yes. Which end do you choose? I can either finish my run. You've mastered all the regular waves and completed the game. End the run and go to your game statistics. Or enter the endless mode. This mode is extremely difficult and serves to measure against the strongest hordes of enemies. Only suitable for experienced players who want to put their builds through their paces or climb to the top of the leaderboard. So we have to do that. If we want to get to the top of the leaderboard. Shadow towers, crit damage. Or improve that. Shadow towers upgrade. We're doing well with our shadow towers. Map is completed. Your map has reached its endpoint. From now on, you can start the next wave using the next wave button. Okay. So we get some choices here. So doubles the chance of legendary banners. For each of the types of listed debuffs the target already has, adding new ones increases the duration by 2 additional seconds. Yes. Definitely that. Raven towers now shoot twice but are reduced damaged. That's still not bad. That's crit damage 175% for overdose. Frost. Enemies within the radius of frost towers take increasing damage per second. I mean, that's handy, I guess. Let's do that, because we do have quite a few frost towers down. Oh yeah, they've got like a permanent frost thing around them. So does it stack, though, if you go between the frost towers? So does it, like, build up? There's a question. So if there's no gaps, does it, like, just keep building up? Auto-level damage, auto-level damage. That's leveled up again. Just auto-level damage. That needs to auto-level damage. I really want to put another one of these down here then, so it just continues hitting everything. There even? Yeah, there. We got a little gap in it, haven't we? That kind of would solve that issue. If I put one there, have to be there, wouldn't it? Don't know if this will do anything. But I'm going to try it. Certainly going to try it. Rune tower, additional bonus for everything here, and hits there. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. One of those, one of those. Okay. We definitely put some more of these down as well. How many tornado towers do I have? Let's have a look. Stats. 5 of those, 9 of those, 3 of these. I've only got 3 of our Raven towers. I guess it wouldn't hurt to have a couple more of those knocking about. And they have such a massive range anyway. It doesn't really matter where we build them. I'm deliberately building them in sort of areas where there are other things that'll speed them up. I've got 4 of those now. Do I want to put one of these down? Don't know what the wave's going to be like, but let's try it. Oh, my research finished. Okay. Tower price decrease. 5 waves. Okay. Fingers crossed. We're still managing to do the shields pretty quickly. Oh, they're getting through. They're getting through. Slow, 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 slow. They're healing themselves. That's the issue there. Oh. Okay, so that's a new issue, is they heal. And there's a lot of them together healing each other, potentially. Interesting. Okay, so stuff got through. So that's a new issue. It's not happened before, so we need to be able to deal with that. So we do Frost Tower and one of these. And we do 1, 2, 3, 4. One of those, one of those. Frost Tower damage increase. That should be firing pretty fast now. A weakness thing there. Damage, damage, damage. Now those guys were moving really fast. So we need to slow them down potentially. Lightning will help as well, but they have a lot of health now. Just sort of conscious of that fact. But loads of lightning. I've got more wood as well. Stick that there. What kind of mortar needs to auto-level damage? Auto-level damage. Auto-level damage. Auto-level damage. Can I change the focus settings? I want to use these to kill health regen ones. Copy focus settings. Use for all of that type. That worked, so the focus settings worked. Okay, that's good to know. Keep clicking things I don't mean to. There we go. No, you want 2 pen. One of those. You want auto increase in damage. You want auto increase damage. You want auto increase damage. That was scary. Stuff got through and I had to use the spells. I don't like that. That hasn't happened in a long time. Copy focus settings. Use for all towers of that type. These things. Copy focus settings. Use for all towers of that type. Since it ignores armor, they'll prioritize that, which is nice. I'm not feeling as confident now, but... well, we have to press the button sooner or later. We'll speed it up initially, but I'll probably have to slow this down. The amount of stuff that's happening as well is definitely causing some computer slowdown. These healing ones are getting through, but the arrow towers are prioritizing them now. Look at the crits going off, all the yellow numbers. Wow. They're getting further than they have been before. I need like more stone. Just unlimited amounts of more stone. This. Okay, so nothing's got too far this time, but the amount that's coming still is nasty. Oh, here we go. This is the issues. These guys. Are the lightning things going to help with this now? My intention is to pin them down round here still. They're just so fast moving, that's the thing. Ah, one's going to get through. They heal a lot as well. Look at the creepy little thing. Okay, we can't upgrade that anymore because it's a level 3 spell, so we upgrade the fireball. We do damage. prioritize that. We can increase spell damage. Tower construction costs -5%. At this stage, we probably need that. Increased height chance is no good to us because we're not expanding the map anymore. Sure, shadow tower damage, I guess. Yeah. It definitely helped slowing those things down. That's for sure. Let's do, you need auto on that. You need that. There we go. You need auto damage. You need auto damage. Auto damage. Auto damage. Auto damage. This is much easier. I should just use the auto level stuff earlier on, I think. For at least some of my towers. How's my damage looking now? It's really these that are doing all the damage. I'm worried about these ones that are getting through. I'm going to put one of these here. Should I be worried about block? I don't know if those little things block. I definitely need to slow them down when they get around here, though. So we do ice fields. Because we don't have any around here. That's going to be the best. And probably need one here as well, somewhere. To have twice the chance of stopping them. And a tornado tower for when they come through as well. Just trying to hit them with everything that we can in this area. Auto damage. Auto damage. Auto damage. If we can slow them down, then that really helps stone. I need more stone. But it's not good. Stone on this map. It's been pretty poor. I'm never going to build anything over there, so I'll just build one there again. Okay, next wave. Wave 33. Banner choice and market offer. Oh, I'm not feeling good here. I feel like we're getting lucky more than anything else at the moment. Stuff is really getting through now. I'm just going to pause it and click on these things. What do they have? Armor. Block chance. Oh wow, we need to deal with that. The block is an issue now. These guys really block stuff. 40% block chance. No wonder they're getting through. I'm very worried about these guys. They're healing themselves. I think that's game. I needed something to do the block chance more. Boom. Oh, I got really high though. 3,266. I mean, that's pretty good. That's a massive increase on my last attempts. I'm really chuffed with that. I'm really chuffed. That's a long game though, but I'm really chuffed with that. Perk unlock, blessing of choice, perk unlock smelting and due diligence. That's what I got through there. Wait, out of those, which was the one that I didn't recognize? Maybe it was due diligence. I've got loads of points to spend here as well. I mean, I've got nearly everything now. More legendary relics, I guess. It's just cost me everything. Back to the menu. Where am I on the leaderboard? Where am I at? It's only 24 now. If I had got that score the other day, I'd have been in the top 10. How brutal is that? Oh, man. Normal mode, Ascension 1. Oh, not many people have played Ascension 1. Can I play that now because I've completed the other mode? Or do I not get it because I didn't finish it normally? I don't know. Oh, man, I can't believe... Yeah, look at the scores. 4,000. I'm still at 21,000 last DPS. Not at their level at all. Wow. I'm really chuffed that I got over 3,000 though. But wow, yeah. Nowhere near top 10. Oh, it's good fun though. Really enjoying this game. They've got a really good game in their hands. Thank you very much everyone for watching. I hope if any of you pick it up, you really do enjoy the game. It is a lot of fun. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon.